Lucas. I've been thinking a lot about things recently. I'm probably going along with my gut feeling on this one. I really think that you and I aren't going to be a good match after all. If you'd be so kind as to leave and get out of my life, that would be great. I'm sorry, but you know deep down this is probably not going to work between us.
What the heck's the meaning of this, Hillary? What's brought this on all of a sudden? Did you accidentally send this message to the wrong person? Or are you being serious right now? You're not seriously sending me this kind of message a day before we're supposed to get married, are you?
No, I've not made any mistakes. These messages were meant for you, Lucas. I wanted to make this clear to you the day before our wedding ceremony. All my guests that were supposed to come tomorrow have been notified that the ceremony has been canceled.
Wait, what? You've gone ahead and told them that it's canceled? What's the meaning of this? What are you saying to me? That we're over? I haven't got a clue why you've wanted to do this. Are you happy in this relationship? I don't understand.
Well, the situation can't be helped if you're so confused about it, right? That's a you problem, Lucas. You're just a good-for-nothing high school graduate that's made nothing of himself.
Excuse me? Why would you say something like that to me, Hillary? Don't you think that's a bit of an over-exaggeration?
But you know deep down that it's true, right? After all, if we're going to get married, you wouldn't even be able to unless you work for a major corporation. All in all, you've got a really good personality, and I really did think that if I'd married you, I'd be happy and have a comfortable life with you. But when I thought a bit more about it, I knew that it was going to be impossible. I can land someone better than you. You can attend the wedding by yourself tomorrow, or maybe find another woman who's more on the same level as you.
Is this some sort of sick prank you're pulling, Hillary? Is what you're saying for real? Don't you think that it's super unusual for someone to just cancel everything the day before they're supposed to get married? All our guests are going to start questioning everything, including our families. What's the reason for all of this? Please explain yourself.
I've already told you my reason. It's because you've made nothing of yourself. All you are is a high school graduate. You've not done anything successful at all.
What? Is that really the only reason you won't marry me? Don't you think that's a bit of a snobby thing to say? A lot of people these days are only high school graduates. A lot of people go straight into having a job after finishing their education. Also, you knew about this from the beginning of our relationship, but you waited until now to voice your opinion about it? It makes no sense. Why didn't you tell me this sooner? We wouldn't have wasted money on this wedding if you did.
Look, I don't even know myself, Lucas. Maybe I was just in a hurry to get married in general. But when I took the time to think about it, I realized I couldn't be with you. There's just no way that I've got the guts to spend the rest of my life with someone who's ranked at the bottom of the societal pyramid. All I want is to never see your face again. I don't want you to come anywhere near me.
And that's all you could say to me about this? I didn't think things were that bad between us. You never communicated how you felt at all. I honestly never expected to be dumped like this on the day before I'm supposed to get married. But I guess I have no choice but to respect your wishes. I listened to your thoughts, and I kinda understand. I just thought we would have talked more about our issues. If need be, I'll contact you again in regards to any future matters. Some things will need to be sorted because of this happening.
Lucas, don't ever think about calling me again. You disgust me, and I can't stand to be anywhere near you. Stay away from me, you low-life piece of trash.
You know, Hillary, it's a real shame that things have turned out like this. I thought we'd be on a more mutual ground about things. I guess I was wrong. Goodbye, and good luck with your future endeavors. I do wish you all the best, Hillary.
I really can't believe this. I never thought that I'd meet you in a place like this. How did a lowlife like you get into an exclusive fine dining restaurant? Or do you have a twin you've not told me about?
I don't get what you mean by that. But I got in just like everyone else who goes to that restaurant. I made a reservation.
Sure, Lucas. How does it feel to have met your ex-fiancé again after I looked down on you for only being a high school graduate? How did it feel seeing me after I dumped you one day before we were supposed to get married? By the way, the person you saw me with at the restaurant is actually my current boyfriend. He's pretty high up in society, actually. He's one of the most successful men in the city. We're going to get married very soon, actually. I'm so happy I found someone so successful.
Oh, right. I had a feeling that he was with you. Well, I'm very glad to hear that you're happy and things are going good for you. Congratulations on your engagement, by the way. I'm sure he'll be able to give you whatever you want, Hillary.
I wanted to message you to ask how you managed to get into such a high-end restaurant. What were you going to do if you couldn't even pay for the food?
What's it to you if I was able to pay for the food I bought or not? What's me being in the restaurant got to do with you? I'm just wondering what your real reason is for you contacting me, especially after all this time. You wanted nothing to do with me. Are you messaging me to rub in the fact that you're able to find such a successful guy and that you're going to marry him? I don't need that. Why are you going out of your way to contact me? What do you want, Hillary?
You know, I told my boyfriend about you and how you only managed to graduate high school. We laughed so much about it. We both have the same values, you see. We're different from the people who live at the bottom of society.
Oh, so you've messaged me to track my position in society? That I'm a lowlife, right? Is that what you're saying? Well, I can say for a fact that you and your boyfriend have no respect for other people's feelings, and are just rude. You just wanted to introduce me as the lowlife ex-fiancé to see how far you've come. You wanted to show that you've dumped a high school graduate who's apparently done nothing with his life. And since your boyfriend is such an elite, of course he would also look down on me and laugh about it. There's nothing worse than a oh-so-elite couple laughing about other people's circumstances.
Well, I was so close at being taken away from the elite lifestyle, so I was just communicating my disappointment in it, if it actually happened. That's really what it was about, okay? You know, it's best to marry a person who matches your values in life. I'm really happy that I'll marry a man who works for a major corporation.
Well, I can see how full of joy you are about showing off your new life to me. You've not changed one bit, Hillary. I'm not surprised, to be honest. Do you enjoy making me feel small? Don't you have any empathy? Doesn't that make you feel inside when you hurt people like this?
Excuse me, I don't feel empty at all. Why are you saying this crap, Lucas? I guess if you want an answer, I guess I do like making you feel small. I like to have the upper hand when it comes to you. Maybe it's just because you're just a high school graduate. I don't mean to do it, and that's all I can say, right? I can't help but feel condescending around you. It's too easy to feel like that because you get wound up so easily.
Well, Hillary, I hope this time you don't have to cancel the day before your wedding. That would be super unfortunate. Especially if the man was actually lying to you about being an elite in society. I hope that you two can be with each other right through until the end. Whenever that'll be.
Huh? Oh, what are you even talking about, Lucas? Am I detecting a hint of sarcasm from you? It's not going to happen this time. Besides, I had every right to break up with a lowlife like you a day before our wedding. I don't intend to break up with my successful boyfriend. He's an elite man who's got a promising future, unlike yourself. I made the right decision to break up with you. You're just a lowlife, and you deserved being dumped on the day before our wedding ceremony. Anyway, my boyfriend's going to become the new section manager for his company shortly.
Are you sure about that? What if the offer's not on the table anymore?
Huh? What's that supposed to mean? He's confident and successful, so of course he'll be the one who gets that position.
Could you please tell Mr. Jones that he's not to be offered the position anymore? I think he'll be contacted by Healing Resources as well, but maybe it might be better that he heard it from you, Hillary. You're good at breaking news like this to people. I'm sure he'll understand.
I'm sorry, what? He's not being offered the job. Why are you saying that? What's going on here?
The story about him being the next section manager is just a made-up story. He wasn't being offered anything. I'm the president of the company he works for, so I might as well set him straight before anything bad happens. I was really disappointed in both your attitudes earlier this evening, Hillary. He's an adult and should know how to treat people better. There's no longer a job being offered to him, so just let him know that.
Okay, we need to rewind a bit here because you're not making any sense right now, Lucas. Why should I tell him this? Is this a joke?
I'm his boss, Hillary. He'll probably start to panic once he hears about this, so as the role of his fiancé, you need to support him, okay? There's not much more I can say, but do your best with that. I'll also take responsibility for this as well.
How the heck are you his boss? Oh, are you for real? What the heck's going on here? You're completely delusional, Lucas. A high school graduate can't be a boss of a major corporation. Don't you realize how impossible that is?
Hillary, I don't really care about what you have to say to me anymore. I'm not interested in your opinion of me. But what I'm saying is true, and I'm a boss. I didn't think it would be that hard to believe. I'm sorry to break the news like this, but your fiancé's job offer has been cancelled.
Are you seriously kidding me right now? How can you possibly do this? How do you have the right to do this?
When I greeted your fiancé today, I thought for a bit and recognized him from somewhere that I've been before. I called my secretary and asked her to look into him for me. It finally hit me that he was the guy who accepted a position into my company last week. I'm sure he'd already received the job offer, but now that I've seen his attitude towards people, I'm gonna take the offer back. He'll no longer be offered the section manager position at my company.
Now, just hang on a minute. Is this really necessary, Lucas? You've hardly met him, so you can't judge a book by his cover, okay? I didn't think that you'd be the boss of the entire corporation. Who's really in charge? How can you possibly cancel my fiancé's job offer? My fiancé told me that he works for a major corporation. He didn't mention that he was only offered a position. I thought it was more set in stone.
Well, he was only planning on finding work at this company. You've obviously been mistaken, Hillary. The offer's already been taken off the table for him. Unfortunately, these things happen.
What the heck, Lucas? Are you telling me that he wasn't even working for a major corporation in the first place?
Well, that's what I was trying to tell you. You just weren't listening. I guess he got a job offer here because his previous work history was good. I'm sure that whatever comes next for him, he'll be alright in that job. So don't take things to heart.
You didn't answer my question before. How are you the boss of this company? You're making no sense and my head is spinning in circles.
Okay, you've been saying this for a couple of messages now. Could you quit being so persistent and let me explain a bit more, please? What I say is just reality, Hillary, so I won't explain too much more about this. It seems that your fiancé has a lot of pride when it comes to himself. I suppose he might want to know the reason behind why his job offer was cancelled, right? It must be fate that we've all crossed paths. Isn't it destiny that he'd end up in this awkward position?
What's that supposed to mean? Are you trying to make me repeat history? Is that your goal here? Are you trying to make my fiancé look bad because I hurt a lowlife like you? Is that it?
I have no goal like that in mind, Hillary. I'm not interested in doing anything like that. His appearance just gives me a snobby impression. I'd thought he'd be the type to have the sort of attitude that I saw at dinner.
That's not true. And you of all people should see that. So stop imagining things.
Okay, fine. It honestly doesn't matter to me anyways. I'm just speaking the truth, Hillary.
Then why don't we change the subject, shall we? How the heck did a high school graduate like you become a boss of a major corporation? I never thought that you worked in such a high-leveled position, Lucas. You never said anything to me about it. And for a major corporation that's worldwide? How's that possible? This has to be some crazy lie you've made.
I don't know what to tell you, but I've been the boss ever since I'd been with you, Hillary. I thought you knew, to be honest.
Huh? Are you kidding me? You were in that position when we got together? I had no idea. Why would you hide important information from me?
I was the company president back then, yes. I hid it from you because a lot of women I had been with previously were only after the money I earned in that position. That's why I never wear anything expensive or showy. I didn't want to give it away that I was in seat of power at my company. I didn't want you knowing that when we first met. Luckily, you never realized what role I played in society, as you didn't snoop into what I did for a living. But then, you only judged me on my appearance. Then you looked down on and classed me as a lowlife who doesn't contribute to society and broke up with me a day before our wedding. So I guess that was a little bit of an unexpected development for me.
Are you kidding me? You hid all that information from me. How could you do that? It's like you didn't trust me or something. I had no idea about what you did for a job. So basically, you were trying to see if I was ever going to go after your money. Is that why you never said anything to me? Was that really necessary?
I was trying that out, yeah. I wanted to see if you were a good fit for me. That you would be my wife and we'd support each other. I really believed you were until you left. So I kept what I did as a job a secret, until I figured you out as a person, and I almost did tell you, but you wanted to break up. But as a result of you breaking up with me, you continued to call me a lowlife, and treated me like a second-class citizen. But the worst thing about this is that you showed me your true self and put me down to hurt me. You then went and told your guests there was no ceremony. The wedding was just cancelled, and they probably still don't know the full reason why to this day. You literally left me at the altar. Now, when I think back, I believe it was a good thing that it did happen. It probably saved me a lot of grief that I might have had to deal with now.
How dare you say something like that to me? You lied about your true self. I was only acting like that because you didn't tell me the truth about your job. How was I to know that you weren't a lowlife? To be honest, I don't care if you think that it was a good thing that it happened.
Well, with the way you're talking to me right now, Hillary, I'm glad that we never got married. We wouldn't have been a good match anyways. You clearly didn't love me then, and didn't treat me like a proper human being. It's really your loss. I'm sure there were times that I was in a rush to find someone and settle down, but I'm really glad I didn't now. It would have ended in disaster. I wanted to know if someone would love me regardless of what I did as a job, and what my annual income was. You were definitely not that person for me. I tried marrying someone, even though I got a bad vibe from it. But I've learned my lesson, and that's a good thing. I know what to look for in a person now.
You can't just talk to me like that when you never told me that you were the president. How could you not tell me that? Couples aren't supposed to have secrets from each other. You should have said something. You're actually some big shot boss who's in charge of a whole corporation? Not even from my friends did I hear anything like that about you.
Okay, would you just calm down and actually listen to what I've been trying to tell you for this entire conversation? There are people out there that just want to marry someone high up in a company because they can say they're rich and have a boss for a husband. My job has hardly got anything to do with me as a person. There's more to me than that, and I was just a lowlife to you.
Would you stop saying that? You were the perfect guy for me, but you didn't tell me the whole truth about you. You said that you were only a high school graduate and then you hardly went to any detail about your career. I thought that maybe you were ashamed of being poor and that you didn't want to tell me. You made me think that you didn't do anything successful.
I never made you think that. That was the interpretation you had of me. I wish that people would stop calling each other such horrible things when it's based on their income or job. I honestly don't think I'll ever meet a decent person who wouldn't do that to me. You thought you were so high and mighty, Hillary. Then you found out the truth and put all the blame back onto me? That's not fair.
Oh, come on, Lucas. Don't be like that. Wait a minute. My fiance is really mad about something. Hold on. What did you just tell him?
Maybe Human Resources got in contact with him about the job offer. Wouldn't it have been easier if you told him? Either way, I know it's my fault that I had to be like this, so I feel a tiny bit guilty.
As you should. So he lost his job because I introduced you to him at the restaurant earlier? Because he's my fiance?
It's not only because of that, but it was a starting point of him not getting the position. Don't you think it's kind of bad that he couldn't remember the face of the boss that he was eventually going to be working for? To act how he did in the restaurant and towards me was completely disrespectful. Especially when it's the first time you're introducing someone. So I just decided that he wasn't a suitable fit for my company. I want to hire people who have good people skills and have a decent attitude. I suppose this would have happened sooner or later when I found out what he was truly like. So I guess I can't help that.
He's so mad about it, though. And I think you know that it's unfair to dismiss someone way before they've even done any work for the company. He even told me that it was all my fault that he didn't get the job. He said that he'd break up with me. He left me behind at the table. Oh, what are you going to do about this, Lucas? You're the one who decided to not give him the job. We were about to get married, and it seems like that's not going to even happen now. It's all because of you!
I guess try and do your best with what you got going for you, Hillary. I don't know what to tell you, to be honest.
Are you kidding me right now? Is this some kind of revenge you've been plotting against me and my future husband?
No, I wasn't planning for revenge, Hillary. I had no idea that the guy I met was going to be your future husband. It was just how it turned out to be.
I can't believe this crap. Are you still holding a grudge over me canceling the wedding? Is that it? You just wanted to have some fun with me and ruin my life?
After all this time, you really think I'm still holding a grudge over that? Why? If anyone hasn't moved on from that, it's you, Hillary. The partner I was looking forward to marrying was standing right in front of me. But in the end, you turned out to be completely different. You weren't who I thought you were. I actually thank you for breaking up with me back then. I was saved from a potentially terrible marriage.
How dare you? You can't seriously thank me for that. I had no idea who you truly were. I'm not happy about this at all, Lucas. I'm about to be dumped by my current fiancé, and it's all your fault, Lucas. You've gone too far this time.
Well, he wasn't an elite and didn't have any position of power. He wasn't going to be the next section manager for my company anyways. He was telling you lies, Hillary. So to be honest, Does it matter if he dumps you, if he was pretending to be something he wasn't?
Well, if that's going to happen, why don't you try starting over since I know who you truly are now?
Excuse me? What did you just say to me? You want to get back together with me? Hillary, are you kidding me?
I only just realized when I saw you today how much I actually missed you and that you were a way better person for me than my current fiancé. I should have stayed with you in the first place. Then I would have found out you were a successful businessman. The decision I made 2 years ago was very impulsive and completely stupid. I take it all back. I'm being remorseful here. So why don't we start again? Will you get back together with me, Lucas? Just like old times? We'll have so much fun together and so much to reminisce on.
Yeah, there's no way I'm getting back together with you, Hillary. You've been so up and down with me in this conversation. It put me off you for life.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean? Why are you being so unreasonable? It's not like you're seeing anyone, and I'm free now. Isn't this how it's supposed to work out between us? You don't think it's fate that's brought us back together again?
I think we've got different interpretations of fate, Hillary. Like I said before, I've got no intention of getting back together with you. I know what you're like now, and I know that you'd only be with me so you can get my money and be rich beyond your wildest dreams. Besides, my wedding ceremony is next weekend, so I'm definitely not going to leave my future wife to be with a money-grabbing woman like you.
What the heck? You're getting married next week? I thought there was no one else involved. You're always lying to people, aren't you? So you've just decided to get married without my blessing? Do you think that's normal, Lucas? What am I supposed to do about this?
I guess you didn't know that I had someone? Did you really think it was any of your business? I'm also engaged to be married, and I'm really glad that I found a woman who appreciates me for who I am, and not my wallet. You're not doing anything, and I don't need your blessing because you're my ex. I don't want anything to do with you. With that, good luck with your unemployed fiancé who has a tendency to over-exaggerate his successes. I think you'll be happy together. Goodbye, and good luck, Hillary. You're going to need it more than me.
Just wait, Lucas! You can't just abandon me! I'm still in love with you and I want to be with you. Don't you get that? I've only just realized what I'd lost. Please give me another chance to fix all of this. I'll do better. I promise, don't leave.
Would you quit it with this disgusting behavior? I'm so over it.
Excuse me? All I want is to be with you and marry you. Please just give me another chance and we'll be a lot happier.
I completely refuse to do that. I said it's over, so you need to accept that. I can't talk to you anymore, so I'm just gonna block your number.
What? No, please, I'm begging you, don't block me. I haven't done anything, please, don't do this to me. I love you and miss you.
Oh, please, Hillary. Don't act so desperate. It's not a good look for you. Good luck hunting for your new elite husband. I'm sure he'll be a catch. But with your personality, you might be able to find any guy to marry. After that, Hillary was dumped by her boyfriend after he lost his job at Lucas's company. Apparently, she desperately tried to get back together with Lucas, but he was having none of it. He immediately blocked her and ended their interaction. Hillary has started from scratch again when it came to looking for someone to marry. With her search being not so successful, she was getting super exhausted. Now Lucas is with a different woman. It seems like they're both living happily as a married couple. With that, we say congratulations to them. Well, at least to Lucas, not Hillary. She'll probably be living with a bunch of cats in the future.
Katie, why are you living in this tower apartment with us? Seriously, get the hell out of here, you parasite.
What? What the heck are you on about? Aren't you being a little too rude to me saying things like that when we haven't talked in so long?
Rude? How so? The way you've been doing things is the only rude thing that's been happening around us. I've had it up to here with how you try and treat me like an idiot.
You think I'm treating you like an idiot? What are you talking about, Bailey? If you're not gonna talk to me in a way that's easy to understand, then this whole conversation is going to get nowhere.
You're leeching off of my family, right?
Leeching off of them? I am not.
That apartment is where my parents live, as well as my brother.
Yeah, and I'm also living here.
What I'm getting at is that apartment is like my family home. So I want to live there as well with all my family.
Why do you want to come live here?
Have you not heard anything? That place is like my family's home, and so I have the right to come back there for no reason.
Hold on, this place isn't your family house though. It was my husband and I that allowed your parents to come live here with us a while back. If you had talked with them more about that, you would understand the situation.
You're being crazy. You are living in the apartment that my parents rented, and you're living there as a parasite, which is even worse. So stop lying to me, because I already know what's going on there.
They're not the ones that put their names down on this place, though. I'm the one that's paying the rent right now, so...
You really love to lie all day long, don't you, you nasty girl? I think you should leave my brother. That way, I'll be allowed to come live there with my family again. Actually, you don't have to leave him yet, because I'll be coming to live there anyway.
What are you talking about, Bailey? You're not gonna live here. There are no more rooms available for you to live in here.
Have you not heard anything from my mom yet?
Huh? About what? You're not saying that you'll actually be allowed to live here, right?
If you don't like it, then maybe you should leave that place. Because I don't really care about what you think about me coming to live there.
But if you come to live in this apartment, you should care about what I think. Well, whatever. I'm going to check with everyone else about this. Bailey is telling me that she's going to be living here with us now. What's that all about? I just checked with Mom about that, but this all has to be a joke, right?
I only just heard about this myself. I didn't know anything about this. I'm so sorry.
Randy, you get what's going on here, right? If things go any further, I'm not going to be able to handle this.
I understand that, and that's why I'm sorry. I'm already really thankful for what you've allowed my family to do, and so you telling me that anything else is impossible is totally understandable. So that's why I'm planning to say something about this as well. But she's my little sister after all, and I know that she's going to do as she pleases, whether I'm okay with it or not.
If that happens, what are we going to do?
Well, if what I say to her doesn't get her to stop, then we'll have to go with Plan B.
Well, that all depends on what happens at that point, right? Let's wait and see what happens with her, I guess.
You're still not out of that place yet? I'm going to toss all your things, Katie.
Huh? Why would you even say that? And before you answer that, didn't Randy already have a word with you? He should have told you that it'd be impossible to move in with us, right? And whatever happened to the husband you had?
You don't have to worry about any of that, so just shut up and leave. A stranger like you has nothing to do with me, right?
So, no matter what you've been told plenty of times now that it's not possible to move in with us.
Well, my mom said it's fine to move in, so stop trying to go against my family, you stupid woman! They are my family, and you're not!
Really, I'm shocked by all of this. You really will not listen to me. I guess at this point, there's really no point in me going easy on you any longer. What I mean is, I'm appalled by you, and you've pretty much pushed me to my limit.
And I'm in the same boat as you right now. Don't you ever forget that it's my parents that are allowing you to live there with them. You're a disgusting little parasite that's stuck to their backs. Are you not embarrassed to be leeching off of your own husband's family?
Don't you think you've had enough of this? All I've heard from you is one rude thing after another, and it's driving me nuts.
Then just leave, and you'll never have to worry about my family again. Coming into my parents' apartment without ever thanking them for it and leeching off of them both. I'm going to live in that apartment of theirs, and you're going to have to leave.
Well, then I'll do just that.
Hurry up and get lost.
And I'll do just that. I'm leaving. But just know that Randy will most likely follow me out as well.
Randy will too? Why would he leave?
Because I've told Randy all about the things you've said to me. And I think he's had enough of you acting like a little brat. So he'll be leaving this apartment as well. And you can do whatever you want.
Why though? Randy doesn't have to leave with you because he's just fine being there. I was hoping that all of us could live together again like old times when we were all younger, but...
No, it's too late for that now. If you have started to get your whole family involved in this, including your brother, then I probably would have divorced him and gone off on my own. But Randy has stayed on my side and has realized that you and your crappy parents are all too selfish to be around, and he wants to end things with all of you. And I'm with him on that.
But ending things with us is far too extreme. Randy really is a dunce after all. I think he'd be better off cutting ties with you.
You're the dunce, Bailey.
Huh?
Well, having to talk to you about things any longer will be a huge waste of my time. Good luck with paying for the rent of that place.
That's not gonna be my problem.
Do you even know how much it costs per month to live in that apartment? I wonder if you'll be able to pay for it.
Huh? Stop fooling with me, Katie. I have a job and work enough to pay for anything I need to there. And it's not like I'm going to have to pay for that place's rent anyway.
Why not?
Because my parents will be paying for the place, so I'm all set. They've been paying for it this whole time, right? I'm just coming back home to them, so they never asked for me to pay. I've never heard of parents ever asking their cute little girl to pay rent.
You really have such an unexplainable confidence in things working out for you. Well, at this point, I don't care what happens to you. Go ahead and do as you please.
And you can get out of my parents' place now, you parasite. But make sure to tell my brother that he can come home anytime he wants when he has enough of you.
Why not tell him yourself? I'll be changing the name on that place to yours for you, okay? So you go ahead and see for yourself how it is there, and then do as you want with that information. I'm going to tell my husband that you don't want anything to do with me anymore. Now goodbye. Answer your phone. What? I'm not going to answer my phone because I'm not in the mood to hear your voice.
Well, this is about the rent here. I think that there's something wrong with all of it. And so I'd like to talk some of this over with you. Now answer your phone. There's no way a place like this would cost me $7,000 a month, right?
What do you mean by that?
Huh?
Why is there no way they charge you $7,000 for rent? That's how much that place costs to live in per month.
You're lying, though, right? They must have put an extra zero or something on there, right?
Well, that apartment is right in the middle of the city, and it's very spacious, so there's no way a place like that would only be $700 a month, right? Are you starting to freak out a little now that you realize $7,000 a month is something you can't afford?
Wait. What? There's just no way.
But aren't your parents supposed to be the one that's paying the rent? You were so confident in that before, right?
Heh. Right, you have a good point. They'll pay for the rent. Now I can relax myself again.
Well, good luck there.
I never even had to bother myself with talking to you about this. I'll be able to make it here with my parents no problem. I should have just talked with my parents from the start. Goodbye now, you freak.
You don't have to say things like that anymore now that I'm gone. You're the one that came to me with all this anyway. So why would you start acting that way again? Know that you really don't have to talk to me anymore, so bye. Do you think you can stop all of that now? You've called me over 200 times now, and there has to be a limit with you, right? When I didn't answer you the first 5 times, didn't you think to give up? Why are you trying to talk to me so much? What do you want with me?
I'm not going to give up now. They used my car without asking me to pay for this place's rent. Do something about all of that.
Yeah? What do you mean by that?
He used my credit card to pay for this apartment's rent. Can you believe any of this? Were you the one that asked them to do that?
So what you're saying is that your parents weren't going to pay for the place, and so they use your card without asking you to pay?
That's right. Why would they do that to me? I don't think my parents would ever do something like that to me. You must have told them to do this to me.
No way. It's getting time for you to read the air a little, huh?
Read what air?
Your parents are a perfect example of a couple of freeloading idiots. You don't think the two of them using your money to pay for things is ridiculous of them?
My parents have been really happy to have me home and laugh all the time about how they were able to get me back after you left.
And they always acted so happy to have me there because of my money.
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, to start, the two of them, your mom and dad, both moved into our apartment without ever asking your brother or if they could live there. And during that time, Randy lost his job and wasn't making anything. And I felt bad thinking that all of this had to go down while he was without a job. And so I started to pay for the rent and everything so that your parents didn't start to fight us. But while I had to pretty much care for your parents' selfish needs as well as Randy and my own, you were off somewhere always texting me about how I was a parasite to them.
Are you kidding me? What? That's what was going on? Why would my parents be that way with you?
They had no more money and had to sell their house. And so they lost their place to live and came to that apartment. But when they came into our apartment to live with your brother and I, they began to take our things and sell them for extra cash. And Randy was getting ready to kick them both out. But then you told us that you come move in, and that was the best news we've ever heard. So we were finally able to carry out our plan B, which was to move out of that place and cut all ties with you. Right now, Randy and I are so happy that you came back.
What the hell?
Well, you guys are all trash. Anyways, you and I have no ties to one another anymore, so do you think we can stop talking now?
Well, I'm not able to get in touch with Randy anymore, so I can only talk to you.
I think he's already gone and blocked you. Not sure, but that seems like something he'd do.
Wait, Katie, I just want you to listen to what I have to say here.
Well, if that's all you want.
My parents have left me here.
What?
They said that if I wanted them gone, that they'd leave me here. And they really did end up leaving me here and running away. I have no idea where they're at now, but they shouldn't have anywhere else to go, right? And they've already used my credit card to pay for this place's rent, so I'm going to have to find a way to pay that off.
I see.
And also, I can't hold this back any longer, so I'll tell it to you straight. What happened with my husband is that he found out I was cheating on him and wanted to get a divorce and was asking me to pay his settlement to him as well. So I thought coming back to you all would give me a way to pay him back for all of that. But I never thought things would only get worse the moment I came back to my family.
Well, that'll happen. You even wanted your parents to help you pay off your settlement, which they didn't, and now you have nowhere left to run and have no money.
I know. So, do you think you can help me?
What do you want me to say to that, Bailey?
Say you will! You're my brother's wife after all! You and I are family, right? So, helping one another out is what we do when it's needed, right?
I'm humored to see that you want my help now, but who was the one that made a huge fuss about me and kicked me out of my own home? Take some responsibility for that, okay?
But that's... Even if you think that's okay, please, Katie, help me out. I won't be able to pay that $7,000, and if I miss the payments every month, I'll only have to pay more in the long run. I won't ever be able to pay that much, so please help me.
No matter how hard you try asking me, that's not happening.
Why not, though?
Your brother and I have already moved away and have nothing to do with you now. And even after telling you all of this might happen, you still went ahead and let me change the place's renters too, right? I don't know about that settlement you have to pay, but you'd better take care of that soon. If not, you're only going to be digging deeper into all of that debt. I'm sorry, but I don't think you'll ever be able to live a normal life again after this life. You should have been a little more level-headed about your situation before you began to make stupid decisions, right? Heh. You poor soul. After that, Bailey was never able to pay the rent and ended up getting kicked out of the apartment. Her credit card was maxed out, and so the payment would never be processed, and she still needed to pay her ex after cheating on him. With all of that, she began to stress too much to be able to work efficiently at her job, and so she ended up being fired from her job. She lost her whole family, as well as her place to live, and now she was living a life with nothing more than the clothes on her back. She finally began to see just how stupid she was being with the plan she had made, but it was already too late for her to stop it from playing out, and has been left with a whole lot of situations. I'm sure she has no idea what to do now that would help her back up, and I doubt she ever will. As for my husband and I, we have been working on getting a new place for ourselves that we can call our forever home, and my husband has been trying his hardest with the new job he landed. At some point, him and I would love to forget about the toxic family we had to deal with, and I'm sure with time and a lot of new changes in our lives, that'll begin to happen.
Hey, Monica, I just remembered something and I wanted to check. Your mom's a single mom, right? She hasn't remarried recently, has she?
Why are you asking about my mom all of a sudden? Yeah, she hasn't remarried since my dad. Do you think she should get remarried? I think she's doing pretty fine by herself.
So she's still single. This is really bad.
What? I don't understand what's so bad about it. You should know why she won't remarry. What does her being single have to do with anything?
We're meeting my parents tomorrow, remember? I was thinking about it, and your mom came to mind, and, well, my dad doesn't like that sort of thing.
What do you mean, that sort of thing? I don't understand what you're trying to say. Can you be a bit more specific so I can understand? Though, I have a feeling I'm not going to be happy about it.
My dad doesn't like single mother families.
What? Dean! Don't be silly! Are you just messing around so I won't feel as nervous about meeting him tomorrow? Thanks, but be a little more serious, will you? Tomorrow's really important for us.
No, I'm being completely serious. He doesn't like families that are kind of, incomplete. He doesn't accept them as being real families. He believes that the ideal is a nuclear family. He's always saying that single mothers should at least make an effort to remarry and have a man in the house, and that otherwise they're just being lazy. I know that it's ridiculous, and of course I don't agree with him, but it might be a good idea to not tell him about your mom.
What? You're not joking? That is beyond ridiculous. Make an effort to remarry? Maybe he'll change his mind when he finds out the reasons some women choose not to remarry. Also, you realize that we're going to meet them tomorrow to tell them about our engagement, right? Do you really think that we can hide the truth for our entire marriage after we lie about my mom's relationship status? And in the first place, why should we have to lie about my family? I accept your family as it is, and you should do the same. I can't believe your dad still actually thinks like that. And even if it's difficult for him to change the way he thinks, fine, that's his opinion. But there's no reason why it should affect the way you choose to live.
Yeah, I know, but my dad is strict about that kind of stuff. You don't understand because you haven't met him yet. If you want to get married, you'll have to keep quiet about it, okay? Please? It just makes things complicated if he finds out about your mom.
Dean, I'm sorry, but I can't do that. It's impossible. He's bound to find out sooner or later, and it'll get even more complicated when he does. He'll feel as though we tricked him into accepting me as his family. Don't you think it would be much worse than telling him straight that he'll have to accept that not everyone has a dad? So, I'm going to tell him the truth. If he doesn't like it, then fine. That won't change how we feel about each other, right?
What? You're gonna tell him? Monica, I really don't think that's a good idea. I don't think we should tell him. If we tell him, there's no telling what he might do.
Dean, do you really want to marry me? If you love me for who I am and accept me how I am, then isn't that good enough for your parents? Are you really happy to lie about me when you introduce me to your dad? 'Cause I think it's wrong. It's not fair to me, and it's not fair to your dad. You just want to lie now so that you can avoid conflict, but down the line, there'll be conflict anyway if you lie to him.
Well, yeah, you might be right. I understand where you're coming from, I really do. It's just that you really don't know my dad. Trust me, it's better if we don't tell him anything.
What are you so afraid of? You're not going to be alone when you tell him. I'll be right there with you. We're doing this together, remember?
Yeah, I know that. I've always been scared of my dad. And what he thinks of me, what he might think if I don't do things the way he wants. That's why I've always done my best to make sure that he stays happy. And I've avoided doing things that he might not approve of.
I get that it's hard to go against your dad's wishes. But this is your life. And it's going to be our life together. Do you really want to ruin our first step together by lying to your dad? I don't. So let's tell him. It'll be okay. I'm going to have dinner and get ready for tomorrow. So I'll message you tomorrow morning. I'm looking forward to it.
Please don't say anything unnecessary tomorrow.
Unnecessary? Are you being serious? You think that telling the truth about my mom is unnecessary? Whatever. Dean, I'm going to be myself when I see your dad tomorrow. I hope that you'll sort out your priorities tonight, and we'll come to see that that's the best way forward too, for both of us.
You've got some nerve thinking that some worthless girl like you has any right to marry my son. You're beneath him, do you understand me? You were brought up by a single mother. If you don't have a father, then that makes you inferior. I don't know what got into Dean and made him think that it would be okay to marry scum like you, but I know that it's all your fault. You must have seduced him.
I wouldn't be surprised, since that must be the reason why your mother got pregnant with you,
And the reason why you don't have a father.
Can you hear yourself? You're talking nonsense. You don't know a single thing about me and my mom. You're saying that I must have seduced him because my mother is single right now? What you're saying is so irrational, I don't even know how to explain how wrong you are. And you're the scum here. Do you understand what you did?
Let me make this easier for someone like you to understand. You must have heard from Dean that I run a company, right? What I'm trying to say is my son is the heir to the business. One day he's going to be running my company, and I can't just let him marry a woman beneath him. It would ruin the reputation my company has. I guess my warnings about the type of woman he should choose to marry weren't enough for him. I'm disappointed that he let himself be caught by a woman like you, but that's more your fault than it is his. To think that he would actually bring a woman that doesn't even have a father. I'm surprised you actually thought that I would accept you as my daughter-in-law. You must be really underestimating me. I own a company. You could never meet my standards.
You're the one that's underestimating me. Do you really think I'll let you get away with this? I can't believe someone like you actually exists. I never once imagined that I would be punched by my own fiancé's father. And just because I told you that my mother is currently living alone, you didn't even let me tell you why my dad isn't with us. And you think you can say that I'm going to ruin your company's reputation? You've already ruined it yourself, if anything. You're a danger to society if you think it's okay to use violence to convey how you feel about something.
For a woman like you, a little discipline is necessary in order to keep you in place. People like you don't understand that things are common sense to company owners and powerful men like me, so you need to be taught things the hard way, with pain. Do you understand now why you're not good enough for my son?
A little discipline? Do you understand that I needed stitches for the cut that I got when you hit me?
What? Seriously? You needed stitches for that? I didn't even hit you that hard. How fragile are you? This is why women like you are so problematic. You start playing the victim when all I was doing was giving you a lesson on life, and you're placing it!
It's not a matter of how hard you hit me. The problem is that you shouldn't have hit me at all. It's unforgivable. You don't seem to understand the gravity of the situation, so let me make it easy for someone like you to understand. You are going to regret what you did for the rest of your life. I'll make sure you answer for it. I swear. I don't care what it takes. I'm going to end you. You can say goodbye to your reputation, because you and your company are going down.
What are you talking about? What can someone like you do to a CEO like me? Were you planning on reporting it to the police and pressing charges? Maybe cry to the press and get some interviews? Hoping to get some compensation in the process? I advise you not to. You're too poor. Do you really think that someone of your meager means can stand up to a man like me? Do you need me to give you another lesson on your place in society? Because it looks like the first one didn't get through so well.
Are you threatening me so that I don't report you? You're despicable.
No, I'm telling you that if you don't press charges, you won't need it. But you know what? I'm feeling better than I did earlier. I guess that I got everything out of my system when I hit you. It's a shame that you're still not good enough for him, but I'll let you marry Dean. Happy now? I'm welcoming you to my family, so don't report anything to the police. Otherwise, you'll be the one to regret it.
What? So now you'll accept me as your daughter-in-law? Just so that you won't get reported to the police? You are threatening me, after all. All you've done since we met a few hours ago is try to intimidate me and use violence to control me. And you think that that will work?
Of course it will. Someone like you doesn't have any other choice but to follow my orders. And you want to marry my son, don't you? Then that's even more reason for you to not report me. I don't think Dean will be happy if his fiancée gets his own father arrested, especially if he understands that I only taught you a lesson for his sake. The second you report me to the police, your engagement to Dean is over. I won't let him marry an uneducated, disobedient woman like you. You should be more thankful. I'm giving you a chance. You wanted to be the wife of a CEO one day, didn't you? You can be if you do as I say. But if you report me, that dream of yours will be over. And I'll crush you so hard that you'll wish you'd never stood up to me in the first place. Are you really okay with that? I can't promise that your mother won't be affected by the pressure I put on you.
You're a terrible person. I can't believe that you'd try to use Dean and my mother against me just so that I won't report you to the police. Just because you own a company and have some money doesn't mean that you can use other people's weaknesses to control them. But thankfully, neither Dean nor my mother are my weaknesses. You can dangle my engagement to Dean in front of me all you want, but I have no intention of getting hooked. So, how about you apologize to me properly?
What, you want me to apologize? For what? I have nothing to apologize for, the least of all to you. I haven't done anything wrong.
You assaulted me, Marvin. I think it's a matter of course that you apologize and pay for what you've done. Well, even if you do apologize, nothing will change my mind about reporting you. But don't you think you should show more sincerity? Honestly, if you're like this in your personal life, I can't imagine what you must be like to work under. I suggest you apologize right now, before this affects your company.
What are you talking about? How can this affect my company? I told you, even if you report me, you can't win against me. You're just a poor girl from a family without a father. What could you possibly achieve in a court case against me, when I can afford the best lawyers and can afford to ruin you and your mother? There's no point threatening me when you have nothing on me. I'm telling you, I'll let you marry my son, so you should think of this as me giving you a second chance. Why don't you show me some gratitude? Or are you too uneducated to do even that? I'm warning you, don't file that report to the police. You'll lose Dean, your future, everything. Don't underestimate my influence. Do you really want to do something so reckless? You have no chance against me.
You're the one that's threatening me.
Clearly you don't understand the power of money. Even if you did report me to the police, I can easily shut it down with my wealth. That's why you should do as I say, and thank me for allowing you to marry Dean. Now that's decided, we're family, and you can't report me to the police. Do you understand?
So, let me get this straight. You really think that it was okay to punch me because I'm from a single mother household? You must be out of your mind. What problem do you have with single mothers? Were you brought up by a single mother yourself? And she happened to be less motherly than you expected her to be? And that made you despise the idea? Because if that's the case, I might be more sympathetic towards you. But I still have to tell you you're wrong.
I don't despise single mothers. I just don't think that they're good enough to raise successful children. I was raised in a proper family, thank God, and look at me now. As for you, what do you have? In a worst-case scenario, you might have become a criminal. I don't like the idea of a woman like you getting close to my son, but I'll close my eyes to your faults. It's a shame that I couldn't find a worthier woman for him, but I'll let you marry Dean. You'll have to hide your background, of course, so keep that in mind. If you let anyone know the truth, it'll ruin my reputation.
I don't understand what you're talking about. You seriously think that people knowing about my mother being single will be more damaging to you than the fact that you punched me?
You still don't understand? Do I really have to spell it out for you? I punched you because I couldn't forgive the idea of a woman like you having the nerve to think that you could ever be good enough for my son. But luckily for you, I'm going to give you a chance. You can marry him as long as you don't report anything to the police.
You're telling me to keep quiet? And you expect me to accept you as my father-in-law even though you punched me?
I'm telling you to do as I say, it's simple! Someone like you doesn't have the power to think or do anything for herself anyway, so just follow my orders.
You must be an idiot if you think that I'm just going to say yes and continue as though nothing ever happened.
What did you say?
I'm saying that you've really pissed me off, and I have no intentions of obeying your ridiculous orders, you piece of trash. I'm going to get my revenge and make you experience hell for what you did to me.
What are you talking about? You can't do anything to me. You're the one who should take care not to anger me. I can end you. I only have to give the word. A woman like you isn't allowed to stand up to a powerful man like me. I can crush you without lifting a finger. Not to mention that I can make things difficult for your mother, too.
Do you really think you can do something like that? You should think a little more carefully before you make such irresponsible comments. I don't want to marry your son anyway, so I'm going to report you to the police. I told you, you can't use Dean as bait to coerce me into doing anything.
What? Weren't you listening to what I said? Or are you so stupid that you've already forgotten? I'll let you marry him. There's no point in threatening me, because I can ruin you. You'll regret ever talking back to me. You'll be begging me for mercy.
You're the one that's going to be begging me for forgiveness when you realize what punching me will cost you. And why on earth would you think that I would still want to marry Dean? I don't want him, and you can keep him. Find some other woman that's willing to marry a coward like that.
I'm giving you my approval! I'm allowing you to marry him! How can you say that you don't want to marry him anymore? A woman like you doesn't get to reject my son. You should be the one that gets thrown away! But I'm being gracious enough to allow you to. Don't you want to become the wife of a CEO? You'll lose the chance to become rich and live comfortably! You'll lose all of that if you dare report me to the police!
Whoever said I wanted to become a CEO's wife and live rich? That's all your imagination. That's what you think I want because you're prejudiced against people who only have a single parent. Besides, even if I wanted to become the CEO of a wee company like yours, there's a limit to how rich I could get. I hear that your company's on the verge of bankruptcy, and it's my understanding that it's got something to do with the better-than-thou attitude you're always dragging around.
What did you say? Did you just call my company weak? My company? You don't know the first thing about what it takes to run a company. Don't talk to me like that!
Of course I'm talking about your company. Who else is there to talk to on this chat? So, no matter how many times you say that you'll allow me to marry Dean, thanks, but no thanks. I don't want him. He didn't even try to stand up for me when you punched me. He sat there, looking uncomfortable. I suppose that's how you've raised him, to never stand up to you. But I never thought that he would just sit and watch me get punched and not even try to stop you. I was shocked at the time, but I realized that he's always been like that and he'll never change. I'm not shocked or sad anymore, just disappointed. And I can't marry a man like that, so keep him. I already let him know, and he made quite the fuss about it, but nothing's going to bring me back. Are we clear on that?
You're not going to marry him? Then what was the point of me giving you my approval? You can't be serious. You don't have the right to reject him. You're going to marry my son, and that's final. You don't have the right to argue back to me.
This conversation's going around in circles. At first you were refusing to even accept me as your son's fiancé, and then you found out that I was planning to report you to the police, and you began to insist that I had no choice but to marry Dean. You're just saying whatever suits you at that point in time. Who in their right mind would want to marry a man like that and become the daughter-in-law to a man like you? It looks like Dean is still sending me messages begging me to get back together, but it's meaningless. I don't even want to look at him. I don't want to spend a single second by his side. I am not marrying him, and that's my final decision. I'm going to file this report to the police, and you will answer for what you did. The both of you make me sick.
How dare you talk about my son and I like that? You're just a woman from an incomplete family. You don't have any right to talk to me like that.
Oh, before I forget, I've already given in my report to the police. I'm sure there will be someone coming to question you in the next few hours.
What? You've already told the police? You can't be serious!
It's thanks to my mother. She rushed down to see me while I was still in the hospital getting my stitches, and then she took me home. She has an acquaintance in the local police station and called them to let them know what happened. She's also prepared a lawyer to advise us on how to go forward with the case. We're ready to fight you in court.
Didn't I warn you not to do that? I told you, even if I did take it to court, I'll crush you with my team of lawyers. Neither you nor your mom can afford a lawyer good enough to beat the people that I have lined up to defend me. You should take back those charges before it's too late. You should have just given in and married Dean when I said that I would give you my approval. You ruined your own life by doing this.
Why do you think that we're poor just because my mother is single? Really? How outdated can your brain get? There's a limit to how ignorant you can be.
I'm warning you, don't anger me any further. Say one more disrespectful thing to me and you will be finished. And on average, people with single mothers are poor.
You shouldn't let something as vague as an average influence on how you think about an entire group of people. You might be shocked to hear this, but it seems you're actually very familiar with my mother. I understand that your company has contracts with a large number of other businesses, but there's one company that you're very dependent on and rely on for 70% of your contracts. I wonder what would happen if you were to be cut off from that supply of work. Funnily enough, my mother owns that very company I'm talking about.
What?
My mother is the CEO of the company your company works for. She was furious to hear that you had assaulted me, and is saying that she plans to end all contracts with your company. I'm not surprised that she'd react like that. You gave me a cut that needed stitches with a punch that was unprovoked and can never be justified as self-defense. Of course, she wouldn't be able to forgive you as a mother and as a businesswoman that takes pride in showing integrity in and out of work. I told you that you should apologize, but you refused. And that just proved to my mother that you weren't going to change, and that you lack the responsibility expected of a company owner.
What are you talking about? There's no point trying to scare me with lies like that. It's impossible! There's no way your mother owns a company. She's not even married! How can a woman like that be running a business?
What's so wrong about a woman raising a child and running a business all by herself? And since you wouldn't let me explain earlier before you punched me, let me make it clear now. My mom always hasn't been single. My dad passed away 10 years ago, and she hasn't remarried because she hasn't found anyone she wants to marry, or loves more than she loved my dad. You undermine mothers that are single because you assume that they must be defective. But in actual fact, my mother has continued running the business that she and my father started together ever since he passed away, all while raising me, and she's been very successful. Whether single out of choice or not, single mothers can be successful and can raise wonderful children, and the opposite is also true. But don't assume that you'll always be better than them. Maybe it'll be easier for you to accept reality if I tell you that the company she owns is NE Holdings. Didn't you know that the owner was a single mother?
You're kidding. You're just making that up. You can't be her daughter. You should keep your delusions to yourself. There's no way that you could be related to her. Stop messing around.
I'm not messing around. I'm being very serious. Haven't you gotten any calls from your office yet? I'm pretty sure my mom's already made a few calls to them about canceling all of the active contracts you have. She's pretty pumped up to force your company into bankruptcy. I don't know the details, so I suggest you hurry up and contact your office and find out what's going on. I'm afraid it looks like your threats were all bark and no bite, and you'll be the one that's going to end up being crushed.
Wait a minute. I got a message from my office. They're saying that your mother canceled all the contracts that we have with her company? You gotta be joking! How am I supposed to keep our business running if we don't have any work? What have you done? You've gotta stop this! I didn't know that your mother was the owner of NE Holdings. I wouldn't have done it if I knew, I swear! You've gotta believe me! Why didn't you tell me? If only you had told me in the beginning, I would have welcomed you into my family without any argument. You should have just told me. It was your own fault for not being honest with me. Of course I wouldn't have reacted like that if I knew who you were. I mean, I just thought that you were a woman who had been brought up by a single-parent household. It's not like I punched you because I had anything against your mother. You can't do this to my company.
Marvin, how about you shut up for a second and think about what you did?
What did you say to me?
It doesn't matter who I am. You shouldn't have punched me. Who my mother is besides the point. Listen carefully. It's very simple. You shouldn't punch people. Do you understand me? Even if I was poor, even if my mother raised me by herself for part of my life, that doesn't give you any reason to punch me or anyone else. You're going to get what you deserve for punching me, and that's that. You ruined your own reputation by assaulting me. You must be really stupid if you think that this is in any way my fault. I don't even understand how you managed to build your own business if that's the common sense you've lived by up until now. I pity the people that have to work for you. But I guess they'll be free after your company goes bankrupt and is bought up by my mother. At the very least, your employees won't have to lose their jobs because of your stupidity. It's enough to just ruin your life.
I'm very sorry.
Excuse me?
I don't know how I can apologize enough for my behavior. I shouldn't have acted on impulse like that. It was very wrong of me, and I'm sincerely very sorry for punching you. I'm sorry that I caused you so much trouble and so much injury. I wasn't thinking properly when I punched you. I wish I could take it back. I'm extremely embarrassed about my behavior, and I promise to reflect on it so something like this will never happen again. So would you please forgive me?
What are you talking about? You can't honestly think that I'll forgive you if you start apologizing now. Where was that speech when I first asked you to apologize? Why couldn't you apologize to me before you knew who my mother was? It's too late to expect me to forgive you. Unfortunately, the fact that you're only apologizing now just proves how lacking you are in sincerity. You only want to save yourself from everything that's going to happen after you lose your company. What? Sadly for you, I have no intention of forgiving you. And I am not going to marry your son, so you're going to have to accept your punishment. Your company is finished. Just thinking about what I would have to suffer if I did marry Dean makes me shiver. But I'm glad I'm free of that.
Please don't do that. Forgive me, I'll do anything. Please just don't take my company away from me. It's all I have.
If you really thought that your reputation and your company was that important, you should have thought about that before you did something as stupid as punching me. Don't you understand that as a member of society, you have a responsibility to treat others with respect? And that in your position, your words and actions are scrutinized? Well, even if I warn you of that now, it's far too late. As early as tomorrow, you'll lose your company and you'll no longer be the CEO. But that has nothing to do with me anymore. You're nothing to me.
Please don't say something that cold. We were just about to become father and daughter-in-law. Dean still loves you, and he's saying that he still wants to marry you. If you could just forgive me and take him back, I think that we could become a very happy family. I can learn from my mistakes, and I'll make sure to treat you as though you're my own daughter. I'll even pay for the hospital fees and give you however much you want as compensation. Anything to make you happy. Please, can't we work things out? We don't even have to involve my company. I'm begging you.
No matter how much you beg, no. We can't work things out. I already tried that, but you threw it back in my face because, according to you, I'm not worthy. Remember? You're seriously mistaken about a lot of things.
Mistaken? About what?
First of all, that either me or my mother could honestly accept an apology like that after you insulted us both so much today. And you crossed the line by punching me. You also seem to think that everything will be okay if you just apologize and act like you're sorry. But if you don't even understand why what you did was wrong, then there's nothing you can do to save yourself. You can start reflecting on your actions all you want, but it's too little, too late. Your life is over. You're going to be arrested for assault. So, I suggest you hurry up and accept that you're going to lose your position whether my mom ends contracts with your company or not.
I'm going to be arrested? Oh, that's going way too far. You're making a big deal out of nothing.
Out of nothing? Are we talking about the same nothing? The nothing I had to get stitches for? Why don't you listen to me and shut up? You're just making things worse for yourself the more you talk. You're going to be arrested, and your company is going bankrupt. Your life is over, just like I warned you it would when I first told you to apologize. And it's all your own fault. This all began because you had ridiculous prejudices against me, and mistakenly thought that they justified punching me.
Please wait! All I'm asking for is one more chance, please! I'll pay you for anything you want me to. Just please don't take my company away from me!
I'm afraid I already have money, so I don't want yours. You'll just have to do your best and deal your time in prison. You said a lot of things about single mothers and belittled them for raising problem children that would eventually turn into criminals. But it looks like men like you cause much more harm to society with your egotistical and self-righteous attitudes. What do you think? You're the man that lost his company and became a criminal in one day, despite being brought up by both parents. In the end, Marvin was reported to the police for assaulting Monica and was arrested soon after. Monica's mother used her powers at NE Holdings to cancel all the contracts that they had with Marvin's company and bought up his company when they went bankrupt. Marvin's life had fallen apart before his very eyes, and he really had been shown hell. Moreover, Dean was upset that Monica wouldn't marry him, and blamed his father for everything, despite partly being at fault himself. Dean even cut ties with his own father, and wouldn't help Marvin no matter how much his father begged him to. Dean's mother also found out about what happened between Marvin and Monica later on, and demanded a divorce, saying that she was embarrassed to have married someone that would dare discriminate against single mothers. She took everything he still had to his name in the divorce, leaving him with absolutely nothing in the world. But he really only has himself to blame, since he was the one that went so far as to assault someone. He got what he deserves, so he'll just have to use this as a chance to learn how to treat other people with more respect.